Drop a like and do share. Leave your comments and do not forget to subscribe for more videos.
Bienvenidos una vez más amigos a edupediaworld.com al nivel intermedio de español. Welcome to the Spanish Intermediate level one more time. Hablemos español. On this lecture, you will learn how and when to use the indefinite articles this time. And we're going to do some exercises to contrast both definite and indefinite articles. And you're going to learn when not to use an article. You will see that there are some cases in which this is not necessary. So let's start and we'll see how can you use the rest of the articles. Remember that in the previous video we studied the definite articles, los artículos definidos. Ellos también pueden usarse de forma contractada. They can be used in a contracted way. So how could you use these definite articles contracted? Look at these examples. Ellas van al teatro esta noche. They are going to the theater tonight. They are going to the theater tonight. As you can see, using the verb to go, van, ir a, to go to some place. In Spanish, you use the place with the article. When you put together a más el, you have al. Ellas van al teatro. Al represents a, to, plus the. A más el es al. Ellas van al teatro. Ellas van al restaurante, for example. You also have another combination of these definite articles contracted. Remember that the definite articles define, as the name says, they define something. They talk about something particular. Este es el lápiz del estudiante. This is the student's pencil. As you can see here, you have another combination. Del estudiante. De él. De él. If you put it together, you have del. So as you can see, this combination is not correct to say a él. You should say al. In the same way with de él, you say del. Now that we saw this part of the definite articles, let's see what are the indefinite articles. As we saw before, the definite articles talk about specific. They limitate the extension of the noun. But let's see what happens in the indefinite ones. ¿Qué pasa con los artículos indefinidos? Mira esta frase. Vimos un elefante en el zoológico. We saw an elephant in the zoo. Here we're just talking about an animal, a category of animal. If you don't want to say something very definite or determined, you use the definite articles, los artículos indefinidos. En español, estos artículos también son 4. They are also 4, and they express a general sense. Expresan un sentido general. Un para masculino singular, for masculine singular. Una para femenino singular, for the feminine singular. Unos, masculine plural. Unas, feminine plural. Veamos algunos usos de estos artículos. Let's see some of the cases on which you can use these kind of articles. For example, acabo de comer un helado. I just ate an ice cream. If you want to introduce a new element, a new object, a new person in your speech, you may use the definite article. You will use this one. Acabo de comer un helado. Luis quiere una bicicleta. Luis wants a bike. Just to talk about something that is not determined. Just an object. He wants a bike. Carla es una antipática. Él vende un queso delicioso. Carla he's not very nice. He sells a delicious cheese. In Spanish, to make emphasis on something, para hacer énfasis en la cosa o en el adjetivo, también puedes usar los artículos indefinidos. Carla es una antipática. You have more emphasis, you make more emphasis instead of saying Carla es antipática. It's also possible you're making more emphasis on the fact that she's not very nice. The same case with the cheese. Él vende un queso delicioso. When using the definite articles, it's important to be careful. The number adjectives, con los adjetivos de número. Un for number one or a, unos. For example, compré un CD ayer. I bought a CD yesterday. In that case, un is the definite article. The indefinite article. But when you say compré solo uno, uno is adjetivo de número. You're talking about how many CDs did you buy. Uno, un. Of course, you have some cases in Spanish in which you don't have to use any article. For example, Pedro va al teatro con frecuencia. Ana va a teatro los martes. When you're talking about a subject, a particular subject or a course or workshop, you don't need to use the article. Ana va a teatro. It's her course. It's her subject. Nuestro viaje será en febrero. Our trip will be in February. When you're using the months of the year, you don't use any article. Cuando usas los meses del año, no es necesario artículo, pero atención. También cuando hablas de días de la semana, when you're talking about the days of the week, in general, you don't need the article either. Mañana es lunes. Tomorrow is Monday. You just use the article as we saw on the previous video when you're talking about the days of the week with frequency. To refer them to frequency. For example, Ana va a teatro los martes. The example we just saw. Los martes. This means every Tuesday. There are other cases in which you don't use the article. It is when you're talking about uncountable nouns. Cuando usas sustantivos incontables como carne. Thank you, I don't eat meat. Gracias, no como carne. Here, it's not necessary to use the article. When you're using the verb hablar o entender, to talk or to understand plus a language, you don't use the article either. Janet habla inglés, español y francés. Janet speaks English, Spanish, and French. Sergio está en cama o Sergio está en observación. To talk about the state of the person that is the subject of the phrase, you don't need the article. If you say Sergio está en la cama, you're talking about the furniture, the piece of furniture where Sergio is sitting, for example. But when you're saying Sergio está en cama, you're saying that he's sick. You're talking about his state. Sergio está en observación. At the hospital, he's being observed by the doctors. So you're not talking about any kind of observation. You're just talking about the state about Sergio's state, which is in the hospital, maybe sick, or he just came out of a surgery. Okay? Now let's practice. Completa las oraciones con el artículo correcto. You have to complete the next phrases with the right article. Definido, definite, indefinido, indefinite, or you just write the article if there's no need to do it. Mi hija adora fresas con crema. Ese autor escribió libro en honor a su madre. Marta no toma vino. Ellos prepararon receta especial de su abuela. Esa canción es éxito. Alicia va a coro todas las semanas. Yo canto en coro de mi escuela. Veamos para la primera. Mi hija adora fresas con crema. My daughter loves strawberries with cream. You're being specific. She doesn't love any kind of strawberries. She loves the strawberries with cream. Las fresas con crema. El artículo definido para el femenino plural. That author wrote a book to honor his mother. Escribió un libro en honor a su madre. He could have written a letter, but he wrote a book. Un libro is general. For letter C, you don't need an article because it's an uncountable noun, vino, wine. For the next one, you have la. They prepared the special recipe. To make emphasis on the next one, you use the indefinite article. Esa canción es un éxito. And now, since coro is a subject, Alicia va a coro, you don't use the article. But in the next one, you do, because you're saying that you sing in the choir of your school. So thank you.